Alright, so today we have a pretty cool product to unbox. This is the BenQ XL2410T, and this is a very unique product on the market, and I will tell you why. Because there are lots of 24-inch LCDs, there are even lots of LED backlit LCDs, there are at least a few 3D ready, that is NVIDIA 3D Vision ready 120Hz LCDs, and there are lots of LCDs that have high-end bases with pivot and height adjust features and all that kind of good stuff. But what does not exist on the market, other than this particular product, is something with all of those features. So this is an LED backlit 120Hz 3D ready monitor. And what I'm going to do is, for this unboxing, I'm actually going to cut it in the middle of it, because monitors are a little bit tough to do in real time because there's a lot of pieces and a lot of packing material. You can see we've got about a good ½ inch at the very least of packing foam around the monitor to protect it in transit. So once we remove that one piece of foam, we find the monitor itself is wrapped in a protective foamy sheath. Okay, so we can take that out, and you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract this and then we'll cut back. Alright, so the assembly process is pretty simple. We extracted the base, which you can see has rubber feet on the bottom, which is great for non-slip. And then all you do is take the monitor itself and drop it into the base. It snaps into place, but then to ensure it doesn't come out, you can go ahead and either use a screwdriver or your fingers to tighten this up and fold that flat. Now the monitor is assembled. It also comes like this, which means that obviously the base features pivot, which is pretty cool. And I'm a big fan of pivot because, if nothing else, pivot makes it a lot easier to install your cables and set up your monitor when you first set it up. So here's one thing that I do want to figure out. So lift, press, okay. Oh, you know what? It's probably locked. Yeah. Okay, so let's take that off, and then it should unlock itself. Okay, give me a sec to figure this out, guys. So contrary to what I thought, it actually lifts from here. So it does not lift from right here, so I was pulling on it wrong. So you just press in there and then lift, and then you can adjust it freely however you want. So the base features, like I said, pivot. It features height adjustment. Okay, so you can see how much height adjustment there is, quite a lot of range. You can tilt. So there's the, actually no, you want to keep doing that from the side. So you can see the lowest tilt angle that we have. Very few people are going to have it like kind of up like this and then tilted down though. I don't think too many people sit below their monitor. So this one's more important. So this is how far it tilts back, and since you're usually sitting at a desk looking down at your monitor, that's sort of the more relevant one. And here, I'm going to come head on, and then I'm going to show you guys how far we are able to swivel. So it has all of the different height adjustments that you'd pretty much want. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say it. The base and the stand are not built, they're not built out of metal, so they're not the most sturdy and robust that I have ever seen, but they are very functional. It's not like the monitor is unstable once you've placed it somewhere. And they have also a very neutral aesthetic. So there's nothing really polarizing about it, one way or the other. And that's what allows this monitor to have all of these features and still be priced so aggressively. So let's go ahead and tilt it back up. And I want to have a look at what we have in terms of inputs. So here we have dual link DVI. And you can see that BenQ has actually included a dual link cable. All of the pins are present in that DVI cable. That means that you have full support for 1080p at 120 Hz. We also have VGA input as well as HDMI input. And then last but not least, we have our power input way down here. The on-screen display is controlled by the buttons here. And then I'm going to go ahead and guess, since I haven't looked at the front of the monitor yet, that those are labeled on the front of the monitor, which they are. So here's our power LED, power, enter, right, left, menu, as well as an auto adjust button. Over here, we can see that BenQ has sort of given us a summary of the features of this monitor. First of all, these are the professional gamers that this was developed for gaming with their participation. So that's pretty neat. I think this is the first monitor I've seen with that marketing. We've certainly seen motherboards, coolers, keyboards, mice, all kinds of different peripherals, but never a monitor before. And I can definitely see why they would want to market it that way, because really everything about this monitor is for gaming, from the NVIDIA 3D Vision Ready certification to the 120 Hz refresh rate, which, bear in mind, these two are not necessarily, this isn't just for 3D Vision. 120 Hz makes for a way smoother gaming experience because, contrary to what some people might tell you, yes, your eye can perceive more than 60 Hertz in a game. If you're running at 120 frames per second on a 120 Hertz monitor versus running at 60 frames per second on a 60 Hertz monitor, it will look perceivably smoother. I guarantee it. Okay, we've got smart scaling. We've got 2 millisecond gray to gray times, which is pretty much necessary if you want to have a 3D Vision monitor because of that fast refresh rate. And then we also have, this is nice too. So this is not a glare type coating. This is actually a proper matte finish combined with the LED backlighting that should give us pretty good color reproduction as well. But I haven't actually had a chance to try this monitor yet. So thank you for checking out my unboxing here of the, now I've gone and forgotten the total model name, and the cameraman went and moved that on me. The XL2410T. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other videos about computer stuff.